Welcome to the Chicago Crossing Model Railroad 2026 Layout Tour. It's me, Eric. Glad to be with you, as always, here in the train room. Chicago Crossing models the industrial near north and south sides of the city as they appeared in the mid-1990s, representing my formative years exploring the nooks and crannies of the city. Measuring 7 by 3 feet and in N scale, Chicago Crossing can best be described as a proto-freelance layout, allowing flexibility in both imagination and in operation. As a small door-sized layout, Chicago Crossing's operation focuses primarily on local freight service and last-mile switching operations, with a dash of Metro commuter service. So join me now on a tour of Chicago Crossing. We'll take a look at what makes the layout tick, and we'll take a Railfan's eye tour of the layout and all of its features. Chicago Crossing uses Atlas Code 80 FlexTrack and Pico No. 6 turnouts throughout. All of this is mounted to a half-inch plywood base and supported by a frame of 1 by 3 dimensional lumber. The track plan for Chicago Crossing can best be described as an offset loop, with the asymmetry of the track plan providing significantly better scenic value than a standard oval. Central to Chicago Crossing's operation is a double-track mainline, reminiscent of historic Chicago rights-of-way such as the Milwaukee Road and Chicago and Northwestern Railroad. One of the most enjoyable features of Chicago Crossing is its single-track branch line. This snakes through the center of the layout across the Chicago River, allowing for short line switching amidst a dense and immersive urban environment. Lastly, while not shown in the schematic, Chicago Crossing also incorporates a small stub yard with an interchange track. This allows for marshaling local trains and will be the subject of future expansion to enhance switching opportunities on the layout. Between the branch and main lines, Chicago Crossing incorporates 7 different industrial spurs and storage tracks. These feed a wide variety of industrial customers. Four of these industries also serve as pairs of suppliers and customers that depend upon each other for raw and finished materials, further enhancing the operational interest within the internal world of the layout. Mounted on an industrial packing table, Chicago Crossing betrays little of its internal workings. The layout is DCC controlled, using an NCE power cab for track power and control. Mainline turnouts are controlled remotely via a DCC Concepts Alpha Central panel, which operates MTB DP10 turnout motors. This system also controls the dwarf signals protecting the lift bridge at the front of the layout. In 2025, Chicago Crossing underwent a complete overhaul of its DCC and accessory power systems. The changes included enhancements to Chicago Crossing's lighting systems, providing independent control of LED lights and other accessories. The end result is a simulated urban nightscape that offers a unique setting for operating Chicago Crossing. In addition, centralized rack-mounted power management and the inclusion of new accessory buses will provide a degree of future-proofing that can accommodate new electronics projects down the road. It's a new dawn in the city of Chicago. And on the far south side, as the city awakens, the early birds with coffee in hand Get ready to catch the 619 from 95th Street to LaSalle Station. Meanwhile, Indiana Harbor Belt 5629, a GP38-2, pulls out of Blue Island for the first job of the morning. Delivery of 2 hoppers of flour to the Schultz Bakery on the south side. On the way, 5629 crosses a vertical lift bridge that spans the Chicago River. It's about 11 a.m., and we've made our way up to the 3300 block of South California, where we catch Conrail 7894, a GP38-2 moving corn syrup empties and kaolin loads over to corn products in suburban McCook. However, we're here to catch Union Pacific 1440, a GP40-2 pulling hoppers and boxcars, destined for the near north side to service customers along the Old Milwaukee Road Kingsbury Branch right-of-way. Beforehand, 1440 positions itself to drop hoppers over at the ADM grain silos and flour mill over on Ada Street in the old Haymarket neighborhood. We next catch 1440 on the Old Milwaukee Road Kingsbury single track, headed over to Goose Island. The train crosses the Chicago River on an old rolling bascule bridge and slowly makes its way towards the Pickens Cane warehouse to drop off a not yet patched Milwaukee Road high cube. Once there, it's all about navigating busy city streets and automotive and truck traffic in order to get the boxcar into the loading bay of Pickens Cane. And last up, the crew leaves a boxcar carrying lumber products in front of Big Bay Lumber. Despite the property being able to accommodate rail cars, Big Bay prefers the shipment is left out in front, where it is unloaded more or less adjacent to the street. Since we were in the neighborhood, we drove north on Kingsbury to Cortland to see Finkel Steel. While we didn't catch removal of the empty scrap gun, we made sure to photograph the scrap ladles on their trolleys, part of Finkel's own internal railroad system meant to move scrap and steel around the campus. Back south in the late afternoon, we made sure to catch the bottle train, ferrying molten steel between the blast furnaces over at Indiana Harbor down to the basic oxygen furnaces west at Riverdale. Here, we caught the hottest train in Chicagoland, pulled by Norfolk Southern 7138, a GP60. While the train is extremely slow, that gives you a great chance to feel the heat coming from those bottle cars. As a summer thunderstorm gathered to the southwest, turning the skies a dark blue, we headed back north to catch some Belt Railway of Chicago action. Here, BRC 584 picks up empty tank cars at Ameripan Oil for delivery back to the clearing yard. The end of the storm left us with a clear and brilliant sunset. Off in the distance, light Indiana Harbor Belt power suggests there might be one final move for the day. We followed the SW7s over to Bridgeport Metals, where they've come to pick up a full scrap gun, presumably for eventual delivery to Finkel Steel. And with a trip off into the sunset, thus ends another day of rail fanning on Chicago Crossing Model Railroad. Over the 8 years of its existence, Chicago Crossing has undergone continuous and extensive change. That's an ongoing process of evolution that continues to this day. 2025 was, in essence, the year of wiring, when everything was revised underneath. 2026 will be the year that the tunnels and rock faces come crashing down, constituting the last major scenic revision to bring the layout truly in line with the appearance of the city of my birth. Chicago Crossing's YouTube channel started quietly, with a simple switching video published back in 2022. 97 videos later, the channel has grown into a wonderful and supportive community of hobbyists and enthusiasts. It's a pleasure to see how far we've come together. Best wishes for a happy new year. Here's looking to 2026 on Chicago Crossing Model Railroad, and I'll see you in the train room. Take care.